Mr. Crocodile, unaccustomed to such indignities, had been kept waiting in his executive suite for over 10 minutes. A harsh breath blew through the seasoned financier's nostrils as he contemplated registering a complaint with management. Unthinkable a few years ago. He knew he'd be in no mood to grouse, though, when business here was done tonight. This club with no name had been good to him over the years. Always a favorite stop whenever business, regrettably, took him to Acadia. It was a taste Mr. Crocodile never suspected he desired, truthfully. Not until the man with the Mediterranean accent entered his life, opened his palate to more forbidden fruits. The financier, still waiting for his appointment, still questioning if this place was going to seed like the rest of this horrid city, thought of his friend with a quirky accent. Almost 30 years to the day of their meeting. 3 decades since he was rescued from a pit of despair. Given the tools needed to exploit his intellect and fulfill his true purpose. A louder snort now, as the financier remembered his companion's introduction. "Mr. Ox?" he'd asked with lifted brow. What kind of a name is Mr. Ox? Funny that. Within a year of their introduction, the financier would be abandoning his previous life, secretly adopting an even more absurd appellation. Yes, life takes you on a journey, and Mr. Ox always made certain the drearier aspects were counterbalanced with a spot of fun. The financier leaned back on the sofa, took note of the ceiling mirror, of just how frail his lean frame had become, of how those remaining blonde hairs had nearly all gone white. It had been a miserable gathering, out here in the hometown of their associate, kvetching like some affronted church lady over a setback in his affairs, demanding something be done, as if Mr. Ox were some deity who could make everything right with the flick of his wrist. Mr. Crocodile's mind was on the long term, on the future of their collective. The ceremonies demanded 4 members, and yet they'd remained a trio for a while now, due to Mr. Ox's insistence on avoiding mistakes of the past. The financier had never gone so long without the rituals, hadn't anticipated how badly his skin would be itching some nights, of the cold sweats in the mornings. Mr. Ox recognized the growing sense of desperation, suggested an evening in the executive suite to calm his friend's nerves. Mr. Crocodile, now convinced he would be registering that complaint, questioned if he'd have time to recount his entire life story before this girl finally showed. Just then, the suite door eased open. "Hello, sir," spoke a timid voice, belonging to a female barely 5 feet tall. Eyes the color of a clear sky. Hair a dark blonde. Her natural shade, he suspected. She was dressed in the apron and dirndl skirt, cut far higher than tradition dictates, just as the financier requested. And yet, a closer examination of the girl's face gave him pause. "Come, sit," he ordered, attempting to disguise his disappointment. The girl obeyed, moved silently to the vintage velvet sofa, set her purse on the carpet. "My dear, how old are you?" Only a brief moment of hesitation. 15. He gave a slow nod, the tenor in her voice, the shame. 15? Didn't the management care anything at all for their reputation? "And you know you're too old for this, don't you?" A bob of her head. "Is this a problem? Do you want me to—" No. Mr. Crocodile reached for her arm. It wasn't his intent, hurting the young lady's feelings. Yes, He was perturbed management had botched his order. Yes, he was more convinced than ever this establishment was falling apart. Still, he could make this work. He needed the release. Needed something, anything, to ease the withdrawals. I always enjoy conversation before getting on with the business. A hand brushed her back. I'd love to hear something about yourself, dearie. The girl studied her shoes. I doubt you'd find anything about me that interesting. Suddenly, her hand moved to the financier's. Gave it a squeeze. You, though, I'd love to learn about that accent. They'd trained her well. Given her years of experience, Mr. Crocodile darkly smirked. They had plenty of opportunities. I'll assume you're unfamiliar with La Suisse romande à Romandie? Asked the financier. The corners of the girl's lips turned upward. Surely not an answer she'd anticipated. She offered a subtle shake of her head. The French-speaking region of western Switzerland. Haven't resided there for years, but it'll always be home. That's so cool. And here I am, just stuck in Acadia my whole life. He patted the small of her back. Now, who's to say what the future holds? Yeah, replied a voice at the door. Life ain't nothing but surprises. The financier's stomach twisted. Instinctively, hands moved off the girl. Who the hell do you think you are? The stranger closed the door behind him, stepped closer. He was dressed in some blue-collar jumpsuit, perhaps even a janitor's uniform. Baseball cap pulled low, obscuring his eyes. A push-broom mustache just as determined to conceal his lips. Straight away, Mr. Crocodile crunched the numbers, reasoned out the situation as some form of blackmail committed by the institution's lowest of lowly employees. This place had gone to absolute hell. Mr. Crocodile turned to his date, was prepared to discipline this girl, let her know this was no way for the aging beauty to escape this life. Wasn't prepared, however, to have a 9mm Glock 19 shoved into his ribcage. You don't ask the questions anymore, the girl said coolly. Mr. Crocodile wasn't sure what happened after that. 20 seconds later, as he collected himself off the floor, he speculated the tiny thing had thrust the firearm out of his ribs and whipped it against his face faster than he could even see. You done good, girl. Now, just give me 1 minute, the mystery figure instructed. His charge didn't seem to like the order, yet she obeyed. As she walked past the man, she offered her gun. He refused it. Don't think poorly of me, bud. That's not a normal outfit. The mystery figure crouched low, lorded over Mr. Crocodile's body. Heard 15 was a bit out your age range. Half expected you to walk out of here, all indignant. If you don't tell me who you are, or what this is about, the blackmailer, the janitor, whoever he was, inched closer. It's about the past, about old sins catching up, as they do. If it's about money, you should know. Hands that felt more like sandpaper than hands stretched across his throat. Not everything is about cash. He leaned in, whispered the rest. Hard as that might be for you to believe, Mr. Crocodile. A ghastly wheeze from the financier's throat. Somewhere in his fading thoughts, a realization the stranger's delivery of that line was perfection. Got a message from an old friend. I believe it goes, hello, and rot in hell. The hypoxic state of the financier's brain likely prevented him from hearing the stranger's addendum. Something like that.